It's okay.
Yep. They've got timer. There it is. How do you sign dates when a large number is selected? Did you know?
Okay.
No, it's not the exact same one though, because
Yeah.
the original one he says it takes on one by one.
All right. Let us know you can hear and see us, or at least see our please stand by and hear us.
Hello.
Hey, look at all these people here.
Wow.
Boy.
We don't have anything else to do.
You ready?
Yeah.
All right, let's start this thing. Hello, everyone, and welcome to episode number 188 of What Does This Button Do? It's an educational show about smartphones and tablets with us, Geeks On Tour. Something's not working.
Oh. Gotta have a challenge.
Gotta have a challenge. My slideshow's not working. What happened? Let me find it.
It was a minute ago.
Yeah, it was. It's always something.
Well, I think...
Okay, it's an educational show about smartphones and technology with us Geeks On Tour. Okay, today's beginner's lesson is how to get old 35mm slides into Google Photos, but Chris has a quick tip first. What do you have there, Chris?
Well, it's related, but so if you're just kind of looking at your slides, how do you, it's painful. So here's a quick tip.
Do you ever wish that you had a light table to put your slides on so that you can see them? Well, guess what? If you have a laptop computer, then you do. You just need the screen to be white. So I'm going to open up Notepad. And make it full screen. And turn my brightness up as high as it'll go. There. Now, my particular laptop, I can fold it around to make it flat. And now I have a light table. But even if yours doesn't, you can use it. Just turn it around. And now you have a light table. You can see all your slides at once. If you don't want to use your computer and you have an iPad, some kind of tablet, you can use it too. Same thing. You want a white screen and you want your brightness all the way up. Now you have a light table.
Yeah, pretty cool, huh?
Yeah. I saw it somewhere else as a little tip, and I thought, wow, what a great tip. So thought I'd pass it along.
Okay, cool. I'm Jim, and here with my wife, Chris, we're Geeks On Tour. Do you think your smartphone is smarter than you? And do you have questions about your Android phone or your iPad tablet? And how do you learn about these amazing devices?
Well, we are geeks who teach. Geek is another word for propeller head, or propeller head is another word for geek. And we have been doing this a long time. And we believe that the best learning is in bite-sized pieces on a regular basis. So that's why we came up with this regular YouTube show. And all of our recorded content is collected on our website at geeksontour.com.
So, Chris, where are we now?
Well, where an awful lot of people are. Home. Home for the foreseeable future.
Yeah, it's pretty crazy, isn't it?
It's kind of hard to say that we're stuck here, though. I mean, look at that. The flowers are blooming, and it is just gorgeous here. We're doing well. We did have to cancel a big dive trip.
Yeah, we were supposed to be diving today in the Maldives in the Indian Ocean, halfway around the world. We're here, and we're not diving. But we're with you, so it's all good.
Yeah, and yeah, we're doing fine. Hope
Yeah,
you all
hope you
are
are
too.
too. Well, I want to remind our members, our premium member, there's a Backstage Pass. It's a Zoom meeting that we do after these shows, and you can get the link from an email that Chris sent out earlier, or you can go to our website and go to the member login, and the link is right there. Hi to our live viewers. My goodness, who do we have over there? We have Nancy and Sheila and Bill, Gal in Arizona, Michael Daniels, and thank you so much, Michael, for that.
What a cool
super
trick
chat.
with the upside laptop. Now that one was actually my idea. I figured
yeah?
you could do that.
It was pretty cool. I mean, it's a bigger screen, and I can use my Chromebook for that because it comes right off of the keyboard. You can just lay it down.
Yeah,
And
any
some of the other
laptops that double as tablets.
ones- Sheila and Phyllis and Tom and Richard and wow, Jolin, hi, honey, good to see you, Richard and Mead. Wow, there's a lot of people here today. Way cool. Good to see you all. Go ahead and put questions if you have them in the chat, and we'll get to it. Here's Chris's a little bit of fun.
Well, I just want to talk for a minute about what we're doing here. I mean, we came up with this topic today not to teach you a whole lot of real specific details and techniques, but to give you something that might be valuable for you to do while you're, what do we call this? While you have to stay at home. But if it's not fun for you, don't. That's why I love this meme. I always said I would keep a clean house if only I had the time.
Well, it turns out it wasn't the time that was the problem. I think
Guess what? Now we have the time. That doesn't mean that you have to do all those projects. Stay positive, but loving photos like I do, sifting through our closet of old slides and getting out the projector and projecting them is fun, I think. And in the end, we have them all in Google Photos. So if that's of interest to you, that's what we want to show here. So the problem.
You got a problem?
Do you have a closet full of slides like we do? Have you looked at any of them in the last 20 plus years? Would you like to clear out that closet and get rid of those slides because you're not going to watch them ever again? It just doesn't work that way anymore. So that's the problem. So the solution is to digitize them. And there are several ways, but we're going to talk about our main way. But just to show you there are other ways. Slide scanners. If you just go to Amazon or just Google for slide scanners, you're going to find a ton. This particular one we put on our little Amazon store that you'll find at geeksontour.com/store because it had a lot of good reviews. We haven't actually used it. And this one was around $100. It's a Kodak, and it looks pretty nifty. If you have a digital SLR, you can get attachments to stick onto the front of the lens that will hold the slide the proper distance away, and then you can just look through the viewfinder of your camera and snap it. Now, lighting is going to be an issue there. You need to make sure you have a good source of light coming behind it so that the slide shows up as good as it can. So that's using scanners, digital slide scanners. Notice the slide scanner, though, also does film. I don't care about film. I have so many prints and slides. If there happens to be a photo on a piece of film that I don't have, I don't need it. But if you do, those slide scanners are definitely the way to go. You can also use a service. I put Costco on the top because they have a last step that sends them all to Google Photos.
And that's so cool.
I just think that's so cool, yeah. But you have to pay for it, and you have to get your slides to the photo center, and you have to go pick up the DVDs that they come in. ScanMyPhotos.com was one that I found that seems to have the best prices and had some really good reviews. Forever Studios is another just website. Now also both Forever Studios and Costco. I went to their website right now and it said, sorry, they're closed during this coronavirus time. But Scan My Photos said that they were still open and operating. I think that's what it was. And so check it out. The other thing is, if you just say, I want somebody to do it for me, or I want somebody to sit beside me and get me going to teach me how, there's an organization of personal photo organizers. It's really pretty cool. APPO.org. People make businesses. And if you guys are really into photos, you might consider this as a business too. You can get certified as a photo organizer by the APPO.org. And you, as a customer, can find an organizer near you that'll come and help you out or do it all for you. Now, I have no idea what they cost, but if you use a slide scanning service, expect between 25 cents and $1 per slide. Not particularly cheap. And there's one called digmypics.com that had this pricing scale that I decided to put in here just to let you know that the range of prices is based on the resolution that you want. So notice the 39 cents per slide is if you're getting 7 megapixel, and the 79 cents per slide is at 18 megapixels. So the higher the resolution that you require, the higher the price. As you'll see, I just don't require any high resolution at all. As long as I can see what's in the picture, I'm happy. So the last way is the way we do it. I call it the lazy do-it-yourself way.
I like lazy.
Yeah, just lazy do-it-yourself. I like doing things myself, but I am just not going to get all my ducks in a row and do it properly. If you are the kind that want to get all your ducks in a row and do it properly, I highly recommend going to that APPO.org, and they have tutorials and videos and whole courses. Of course, the one I looked at was a $400 course.
Wow.
on how to do this stuff. But they have free documentation as well. So we get the slides out, put them in a carousel, get out the old slide projector, make some popcorn, pour the wine, and have one last slideshow. Then, stay on that one. You tell me I'm talking too much on this slide.
Yeah.
And then set up with a digital camera, to capture what's on the screen. Now, do you have to have a screen? You can probably project onto a white wall. Now, you do have to have a projector.
Yeah.
If you don't have a projector, you can't do this. But maybe one of your friends has a projector.
Yeah, ask them, borrow it.
Yeah. And then when you're all done, now if you use a smartphone to snap the pictures, they can go immediately up to Google Photos. How wonderful is that? And once you check them out at Google Photos, see that they're all okay, then you can toss it. This is the hardest part to do.
It is.
This is the hardest part to do.
To actually take that thing and dump it in there and know that you'll never see these particular things again, but you have them backed up, and hopefully we'll show you how. You won't
And you got to do it.
And you'll look at them now.
Right. And we do not capture every one. In fact, Jim was going there and just flip, 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 flip. And I said, wait, I like that one.
So I have to flip back.
And I take it. I mean, you do not... I don't think you need all of them. You need a sampling from each stage of your life. So...
Yeah. And most of them are not all that great of pictures. Or a lot of them aren't, yeah.
She says, no, don't toss them. Okay, I'm ready now.
Okay. So this is our setup, right?
Yeah, so that's our screen. And this is just to prove to you that this is how we did it. And I have been known to use my digital SLR camera and put it on a tripod. We also started the first night, we put the phone on a tripod. But then it was kind of a pain. Some of the pictures were vertical and some of them were horizontal. And I just decided it was easier to just hold my phone. And you're going to see the results. Now, can we show... No, never mind. So this is what my Samsung Note 9. Now, you do want a good phone. You want a phone with a good camera.
Oh, most of them are today, though, right?
The
newer ones.
The newer and the more, if you paid more than $300 or $400 for your phone, then it has a good camera. If the camera is where they save money in the cheap phones. But so then, the old slides aren't going to look fabulous, right? But Google Photos can edit them. So look at the next slide. You went the wrong there. So, and can you go back and forth a couple times?
Yeah.
The original one, look how washed out the mountains are. And you can hardly see, you can't see that that's me and my mom backpacking. So I definitely want to crop it and get closer. And I want to see if I can get those mountains to stand out better. And I'm going to show you how I did that, mostly with Snapseed. Google Photos can make a lot of the slides look better. Snapseed will really make them look better. And if you want to learn how to use Snapseed, check out our online course at geekswhoteach.com. Now, Geeks on Tour members have a free membership at Geeks Who Teach, but if you just want that course, you can go to geekswhoteach.com. All right, time for demo. Do we want to handle any of the comments first?
Well, let's take a look there and see what we got. I have a couple of questions here. Oh, Warren liked the tip for the light table. It's good for tracing on paper, too. Yeah, pretty cool. Ron says, hi, geeks. Yeah. Gal in Arizona says, you remind me of Romper Room Lady. Is Romper Room still on? Or are you just kind of aging us here?
I'll have to go look at that.
That's true. I remember that. They would always go with the magic magnifying glass. And let's see. Nancy has so many slides.
Tiny projectors for smartphones. Now, I'm not sure if she means
Where?
Tiny projectors for smartphones. Right, I saw it somewhere. Where'd it go? There. Tiny projectors, Galanese.
No.
No, I haven't. I'm not sure if you're talking about projecting from the phone. Then you can't put a slide in there. There are real do-it-yourself kind of things where Bill sent us a link to something that was just a big tube, and you cut a slot for your smartphone, and you cut another slot for the slide, and then you put it up against a light, and you've made your own little little slide.
There are a lot of ways to do this, and some are pretty creative, and some are fun. So Heather does not want us to get rid of our slides. So, well, we'll send them to you, okay? You pay the postage. All right. Tiny projectors, don't toss them. I have slide photos on my hard drive. How do I upload them to Google Photos? We'll get to that, Dave.
Well, we have videos on just uploading from your computer to Google Photos.
Absolutely. And Where was that one? Tell me how to transfer photos from Amazon Photos to Google Photos.
You have to download them to your computer and upload them to Google Photos. To my knowledge,
there's no direct connector.
Well, there's that one.
We'll have to look it up.
I forget what it's called. There is one website that claims to be able to go from one cloud service to another.
But you have to give them your account information to do that.
It's a little scary. Yeah.
So, yeah.
I like this one, though. Richard Holland, is there an episode that talks about how to convert print photos to Google? That'll be our next episode. We have done it before.
And we'll do it again.
But that will be the next episode. Yeah, I have a lot more prints than I do slides.
Okay. One of the Moto Z Pods is a project.
Is a projector.
A projector, okay.
Right, but it's projecting what the phone can see.
Yeah, right.
You can't stick a slide in your phone to project it.
Okay. Ellen says she just started using Google Photos. Wonderful way to save all the thousands of photos. Absolutely.
Yay.
And if you really want to learn all about Google Photos, this is Mrs. Geek. She wrote the book.
Oh, I meant to have the book to show because we also cover this slide, on page 49, I think it is.
Okay.
All right. So I'm going to do a little bit of demo. So what I want to do is show you some of the slides that did get captured. So I'm going to show you on my iPad because it's a nice size screen. So what did I capture the pictures with? My Samsung. How can I be seeing them on my iPad? Because I let them get uploaded to Google Photos, and my iPad is seeing my Google Photos. And, okay, so first now this is just a couple nights, we didn't do a whole lot. We did not do a whole lot of slides, so it's a reasonable amount to show you. And so first, here's like
Keep going.
Here's like the first one that we took, right there. So this is an old picture of 3 high school buddies of Jim, and that is just as the camera captured it. So I want to make it look a little bit better. I'm just in Google Photos, edit, and I first need to crop because see I got a lot of the screen in with it too. Now, you might do better than I did, but I'd had a few glasses of wine by this point. And then I'll do an auto. I always do an auto to see how good that makes it, and that sharpens it up a little bit. But I also want to use some pop. I think some pop would clarify it even more. And on the iOS, pop is underneath light. So you tap on this little down arrow. And there's pop. And see how it gets sharper? It just pops a little bit. And then that's all I'm going to do in there. I up arrow, and then I can long press, and you can see the difference. So there's the original. There's the fixed one.
Much better.
I think it looks quite a bit better, yeah. And then you just tap save. And editing turns off motion. Well, stupid me. You certainly don't need to have your camera set to take motion photos when you're snapping slides, but I did. So, yes, that's fine. All right. Next one I want to show you is my favorite one of Jim's family photos that we found in a slide. Is that great or what?
I hope Debbie's watching.
So that's Jim. And that's his sister, Debbie. And does she look like a sad doll or what? Anyway, the colors and the sharpness is really pretty good. But there's these dust spots. Now, if we had followed all the proper procedures, we might have dusted off the slides first, and maybe we wouldn't have gotten that. But in Snapseed, I can get rid of those. So I'm gonna, in the iOS, you swipe up on a picture and tap open in Snapseed. And then I need the healing tool. Tap the pencil, tap the healing tool, and zoom in Ooh. And I definitely want to get rid of that one.
I had the measles.
You just touch it. And touch it. And touch it. And touch it. And over here. All right. And, oh, that was bad. So I touched and I really made a mess. You can undo just your last one. You need 2 fingers to move the picture around. And let me get rid of these dots on her face. That one didn't work too well. 2 fingers. Get rid of that one. You get the idea. I don't want to spend too much more time. That's good.
Smile, Debbie.
Oh, your dad has... There. That's good. And tap the check mark to be done. And then I tap the export and save. And I go back to Google Photos. And that's the original. Snapseed makes a copy, period. That's the way it works. So that's the original. But in a minute, there we go, we get the edited one. And there, they have much less spots. All right. One more I want to show you. And that was that picture of me and Mom in the mountains. Where did that go? There. So that's just to show you that it was projected on a screen, and this is what my camera captured, and the mountains are so washed out. I could crop it and do a little bit of improvements in Google Photos, but to change the exposure on those mountains, I need to go to Snapseed, so I'm going to go straight to Snapseed. Oops. And I always forget. It's different on the Android. On the Android, to get to Snapseed, you do have to tap on the Edit button and then the 9-dot grid. On the iOS, you go up and open in Snapseed. And then I'm going to use its crop tool.
Cool.
And check mark. And the main thing is I want to change the exposure for the mountains. So that is brush. And once again, we cover all this in our Snapseed course, but I just want to show you. I think I can even use more. I started at -5. I think I'm going to go to -10. And you just rub on the area.
Finger painting.
Yeah, it's fun. All right. And I think, and that was the original. That's what it looks like now. I'll check mark and I'll save. And just one more. And it's see this waterfall? I remember taking this picture. Oh, it doesn't look yellow up there. I do. Well, I remember taking this picture, and on what I'm looking at on the screen here, it looks yellowish. You know, it's just an old slide. It's gotten yellow, and I can fix that in Snapseed. That's the white balance, so it doesn't know, it's not treating whites like it should. You edit and white balance, and then I say, well, I'm going to point to what should be white by tapping on this neutral color, and wherever that little X, you can still see how it changes.
A little bit, yeah. It's hard to tell on different monitors.
That's not. But the yellowish has gone away. And I check and I save. So that's what the reason for showing you this is, just that if you think, oh, these slides just aren't very good, it's not going to work, you really can improve them quite a bit after the fact if they're in Google Photos. All right. Now, I want to send some to Jim. So I took these photos with my phone. In retrospect, we should have used your phone for your photos and my phone for my photos.
Yeah, well.
But since we didn't, all I have to do is...
We have a lot more to do. We have a lot more slides up there, so we can do it right or that way the next time. How's that?
Okay. But I can just select, and on a mobile device, you select by just dragging across them. And I can drag through all of the pictures that were his, and that ends with that one right there. And share, and send to Jim, and your scans. Looks like there's 56 pictures.
Mm-hmm.
And send to him. So that's also letting you know how you can send to anybody else. Like Jim's sister Debbie, I did have to send her that one. And when Jim gets them, he has the choice of just saying, oh, thank you very much, or saving them to his library. It's just a one-tap save to his library. And if he tells me he's done that, I could delete them from mine even. I don't think we need to have to do that.
No.
Because we need to get on to dates. Next comes dates. So this photo of Jim's family, was it taken in 2020 or was it taken in 1956? Well, the date I snapped that photo was in 2020, but the date of the original, the historical date of that photo is sometime probably 1956. And if you want to see them in your Google Photos library according to date, you need to change the date. It's very easy to do in Google Photos, but there's a catch, and there's a video on this.
All right.
Hi, this is Chris Gold with Geeks On Tour, and this tutorial video is about using Google Photos to change dates on a photo, or using Windows to change the dates, and what is the difference. So why would you want to do that? Well, I was looking through an old photo album of mine, and I saw a couple pictures in here that I wanted in my Google Photos library. So I took out my phone and I used PhotoScan to do that. And to learn about PhotoScan, see episode 134 of our What Does This Button Do show. But now, what's the problem? Those photos that I snapped out of my photo album have today's date on them, whereas these photos were actually taken back in somewhere in 1978. Well, if you open the photo and swipe up, you will see the date. And unfortunately, this Android version does not have the edit. Let me show you on the iPhone. So here's Google Photos on my iPhone, and you'll see it has those same pictures. If I open it up and swipe up and tap on the date, now it has a place to change that date. So instead of 2020, I can say 1978, and January 5 is good. I don't know the exact date, I just know the approximate, and I tap save. Now when I go back, that picture has been put in order on January 5, 1978. Now, if you have Mrs. Geek's Guide to Google Photos, you can look at page 45 and see both information about PhotoScan and about changing dates. You can do this on the computer. So if you have an Android and the app doesn't have that feature, let me show you on the computer. To change the date in Google Photos using a computer, you open the photo, you click the little I for info, you find the date and click the pencil, and now you can change that to whatever you want. So here we are at Google Photos on the computer, and notice that there are only 2 pictures left from today, and the other one is in 1978. right there. And that's fabulous. That's great. I love it. It says that this is January 1978, and as long as I am using Google Photos to look at my photos, then we're good. However, if you download this to your computer, you will see that it has the original date that this photo was actually snapped. I'll show you. So there's that picture. And on Windows, you just click on a picture, and if you have your details pane showing, and that's up here under View and Details pane, you will see it says date taken January 5, 2020. That's not the date I changed it to. So when you change it in Google Photos, you're only changing the Google Photos date, not the metadata of the picture. But watch this. It is so easy to change the date just right in Windows. So I will say 1/5 and 1978 and save. So now if I upload it from the computer to Google Photos, that will be the date it has, and it is the metadata date forevermore. So if you want to make sure that your photos have the actual metadata correct date, you might want to copy them to your computer before uploading them to Google Photos. And now you can just select them in Windows and go over here and change the date. Make sure you click Save. That's something that I forget to do. It's not there until you click Save. And now you can upload them to Google Photos. I'm in Google Photos. I click Upload from computer. And when I upload those 3 pictures and open, they will come into my library in 1978. And there they are. So if you have pictures that were scanned and you need to change the date, you can do it straight in Google Photos, but that won't be a permanent outside of Google Photos date. It's very easy to do it on Windows if you put the photos on your computer first and then upload to Google Photos.
Cool.
So, I thought about doing that this time.
And?
So the right way, if you want the date to be attached to the photo, part of the metadata of the photo, then the right way to do this process would be on 4 steps. If using the phone for a camera, turn off the Google Photos backup and sync. So you can still snap the pictures, but don't let them go up to Google Photos. Then step 2, transfer them from your phone to your computer. I would use OneDrive for that because it does it automatically. There's a OneDrive app for the phone that will automatically put them to OneDrive and then down to your computer. Step 3 would be using Windows, select the photos, change the dates. Step 4, upload those photos to Google Photos. And I actually did start that. Our first night, I turned off Google Photos Backup and Sync, and I made sure that OneDrive was doing its job.
That's a lot of work.
And then I got lazy. I said, I don't want to go to Windows and change them and then upload them to Google Photos. I said, you know, I can live with the date being just a Google Photos date. So the quick way is, number 1, just take the photos with the phone on Google Photos, backup and sync on. So I take a photo, it's in Google Photos. Then, and actually, I don't even necessarily mind the scans all being in 2020.
Yeah.
You know I scanned them in 2020, but it is so easy to change the date in Google Photos. And I say don't worry about the wrong date if and when you download them to the computer. I'm going to download them in bunches anyway, and that bunch can be by decades. You know, I can say 1960s scans, 1970s scans. So the fact that each individual photo doesn't have its metadata correct,
No big deal.
say I'm lazy. And no, let's not do 574.
Okay.
That's not necessary at this point. We'll keep going. And the other thing that Google Photos can do, which it's just, oh wait, no, I did want to demonstrate. So I said that the Android app cannot change dates, but that the computer can. Well, it's really not the computer, it's the web version of Google Photos. You can go to the web on your Android phone, right? So I want to show you that. I am going to change the date of a bunch of my photos. First, I'll show you in the app that yes, I cannot change the date. There is no pencil next to the date on the Android app. But on my Android phone, I can open a web browser, Google Chrome, and go to photos.google.com. It's logged into my account. So here I can select a picture, tap on the little I for info, tap on the date, and I can change the date. But I want to change a whole bunch at a time. Since this is the web version, I don't have the drag capability of selecting, and I don't have the computer capability of click and shift click. So I do have to select each one. But then I can change the dates all at once. So I'm just selecting all the scans of mine, and that's enough. Then it's the 3-dot menu and edit date and time. Shift dates or set one date and time. I tapped on set one date and time, and I don't know exactly when all these are from, but I know they were kind of late 70s, so I'm just going to say 1978 and 0101. That's just kind of my hint that I really don't know what date. It's just January 1, 1978, and save. And now all of those pictures are
Way on back.
are in 1978. I've scanned some and changed the dates to even earlier, but I know they're there.
Well, can you search for 1978?
Yeah. And I had okay.
There it is.
So, oh, those are those ones from.
They're there.
I'm confident that they're there. It would be more confident if I could see them, though. It might take a minute. We'll look at that when we get to review questions.
Okay.
Okay, now is there one more
Faces?
slide? Faces, yeah. I'm going to go back to the iPad just because it's a bigger screen to show. So, faces. Will it identify faces from ones you scan? Yes, but it might take a while, and no, maybe not. It's maybe it will and maybe it won't. But you can.
You can force it.
You can force it, yeah. So I'm going to go to my favorite one of Jim's family. And what you do is you swipe up and people. See, so it has not identified these people. It has not marked the faces, but it says there are 4 faces available to add. Tap the pencil and it highlights them. So cool. I can add that one and say that is Jim's dad, Captain Jim, right there. So that's Captain Jim. I can tap on that one. that is Debbie. And we tap on that one. That is Jim. And if it's not somebody that you've already made an album for, then you just say new person. And this one is Mom, who is here somewhere. But it's going to take...
You might have to dig and find her.
It's going to take me too long to find her. So you get the idea. Nope, keep editing, and done. You have to say done. So now that picture will show up in the album of people. Let's go to Jim's dad.
Captain Jim.
And there's that picture that was just scanned in. It's
cool.
Already organized within all the pictures of Jim's dad.
I like it. Let's see. I don't see any more questions here. Would it be worth changing the date on scanned photos on your system before uploading it to Google Photos?
I say that's strictly up to you.
Yeah.
That would be the right way to do it, I think.
Okay.
But it's not the fast and lazy way to do it.
Phyllis asks, my slides are now on a memory stick. How do I get them to Google Photos?
You just put the memory stick into your computer, and then you upload from the computer.
Okay. Ron says he's here. Hi, Ron.
Hi, Ron.
Good info. Google has Google Go now that seems faster on my Android phone. Changing the dates may work better, too.
I don't know if you can change the dates with Google, but just realize Google Go is meant for people in countries that don't have internet.
Or have very slow and low bandwidth.
Well, yeah, but it does not upload to Google Photos at all. Google Go is a gallery app for your phone. So sure. I don't think anybody in this country should be using Google Go. Personally, it defeats the whole purpose of Google Photos to me, is for it to be cloud-based.
Mm-hmm. All right. Let's see.
Does the person I send to have to have Google Photos? I see that. And the answer is no. Now, if you can send pictures to anybody by sharing the link to those photos, and anybody without a Google account can see them. But if they have a Google Photos account, then it's a single click to save them to their library. But even if they don't have it, they can download them to their computer. You can share, and they can download them to their computer.
Okay. Well, this slide says sign up for our free newsletters at geeksontour.com/news and subscribe to this channel at YouTube. Become a premium member at Geeks On Tour and get Mrs. Geek's Guide to Google Photos. She wrote the book. Pretty cool. Our Backstage Pass, we have an online Zoom meeting after this part of the show. And right when we get ready, click on the member login and scroll down to see the pass. Become a member at geeksontour.com and see our website. Well, it's your turn. Did you learn something? Geeks On Tour method of digitizing slides is to project the slides and then snap a photo with a smartphone. We do this because it's cheap, it's the best quality, it's fun, it's fast.
It's cheap, it's fun, and it's fast. It's not the best quality.
Right. All right.
But it's good enough for me.
Okay. Google Photos can change the date taken of a photo using the web version, the Android version, or the iOS version.
The web version...
Here's an answer from Google.
Hey, let's see how it would if it answers it right. The web version and the iOS version. So the Android app cannot, but can you change the date if all you have is an Android?
Sure.
Yeah, you just use the web version.
If true or false, if you change the date with Google Photos, then download the picture, the date of the downloaded picture will be changed.
Will be the changed one. False. The date of the downloaded picture will be the original date.
Right. The yellowish tint of old slides can be improved by editing with Google Photos or Snapseed.
Actually, Google Photos just auto-correct sometimes does an impressive job on getting rid of the yellow, but what I showed was the white balance tool in Snapseed.
All right. True or false? When you take photos, projected slides, they're automatically added to a scans album.
False. There's nothing automatically done with them other than put in the date that you took it. I do recommend that you make a scans album just for ease of finding. Say, didn't we scan that photo? I don't remember what date or who was in it, but I think we scanned that photo. So having a scans album is not a bad idea.
All right. True or false? Face tagging must be done manually.
False. It does do the face tagging, but not for all the faces, and it might take a while. So manually is nice.
All right. Chris, what's the web page that lists all of our weekly shows?
geeksontour.com, and the menu item is weekly class. No, it's YouTube show.
You still didn't change that. Write that down. What's the web page that lists all of our recent newsletters, though?
geeksontour.com, and that is blogs and news menu item.
Okay. And why do people pay nearly $60 a year to join Geeks on Tour?
Well, they get to ask us questions on our Q&A page. They get access to hundreds of tutorial videos, learning guides, and 7 ebooks, including Mrs. Geek's Guide to Google Photos. And they get written notes from these episodes. I think that's becoming one of our most valuable things.
I think you're right.
I mean, it's like it's a book of everything we teach. But some people pay even though they don't take advantage, just to say thank you for all the free stuff we offer. And the Backstage Pass. Members get to visit with us after.
Yeah, personal one-on-one, or mini-on-one, too. So next time, do you think we'll do a live show next week?
Well, this is newsletter week, so we might pass next Sunday, but the next topic will be getting prints and your old photo albums into Google Photos. That is what we're going to cover the next episode.
That's a fun one, too. Okay, and if you have an idea for a topic, let us know here in the comments or on our website or on our Facebook page. And leave a comment on this YouTube video if you're watching it after the live. Well, that's it for this week. I'm Jim.
I'm Chris.
And we're Geeks on Tour. And we'll see you next time.
Keep pushing those buttons.
What does this button do?
Just keep pushing and find out, and you'll see.
All right. We'll see you next time. Bye-bye.